All right, this is like the biggest update ever for Call to Arms Gates of Hell Ostfront. I mean it. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome aboard. Good to see you all here for this World War II real-time strategy game with a ton of content, and recently was on sale for the War Games Fest for Steam. It's usually on sale all the time, and it's one that's been around for a while, and a lot of people always ask me on this channel, will you ever go back to Men of War Assault Squad 2? And the answer is probably no. We've gone back to it a few times. It's an older game that's a little obsolete now and, has some major issues with running, with a smooth frame rate, but Call to Arms Gates of Hell is a newer game that is essentially that game, but updated with tons of content. Check it out. If you don't know about the game, there's a lot of different campaigns here through DLCs and whatnot for Finland, Germany, the USSR, and the United States, and mods that bring in everything in between. The modding community is insane, and one of the biggest updates now for the game that's official, I think was a mod for a while for Men of War Assault Squad 2, is that medics will actually finally go out and heal people up. And yeah, so you used to have to actually tell medics to do everything. Like, imagine in a World War II strategy game telling every single soldier where to stand, when to throw a grenade. There's a lot of micromanagement in this game, but one thing that should be automatic is if a medic's standing next to somebody who's down or wounded or whatever, they should bandage them up. They should heal them up. It's like if you're playing Hell Let Loose. Like if someone's standing next to you who's a medic and you're down, bro, revive me. And that's exactly the scenario that this is recreating. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to start a brand new, I think we'll go into multiplayer and do a skirmish just against the AI to see all the things that are new. There's a ton of different game modes for this game. They've updated a ton of stuff over the last probably a couple months since we took a look at it. They've updated damage models and added the medic stuff that I'm scrolling through here to see other things that they worked on. Of course, there was an open beta for this, and then they fixed some other things there, updated conquest mode, and a bunch of other things that were wrong for some of the missions or that they weren't happy with. And so they made them smoother and better, and they're always buffing out multiplayer. And there's just, I mean, there is a gargantuan list of things that they've tweaked in terms of like how weapons work, and also back-end stuff that you wouldn't even notice, like animations and having tracks of certain vehicles, stay longer or look different. So they're certainly putting in a lot of care here, and it looks like a lot of people have gotten it on the recent sale where the game was $8, man. I hope everybody got it. I didn't get a chance to make a video, but what I'm seeing on the current sale for Steam as it's going on is everything here was about $38. $38 for this game and the DLCs as well. At least that's what it says. So amazing, amazing. Like $8 for the game, $30 for the DLCs. Totally worth it. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the maps here. And here are some that are added through the DLCs, but there are more maps you can get through the Steam Workshop, and there is a lot. So if you like to play multiplayer, like 2v2s or whatever, or maybe even like a conquest mode, that's a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and do maybe an American mission here. Let's go Saint Marie du Mont. And let's do that. So we're going to go ahead and jump in with that and then set up the order of battle. So we'll probably just be the United States here. And let's do Axis versus, oh, actually specific nations here will be cool. We'll do Team A being the United States, Team B being the Germans. And then we'll also make sure it's like picked to 1943 to 1945. You can pick early, mid, or late game. I can't wait to see how these medics work. Our doctrine will be, let's be a defensive doctrine. And then mission options. What is this? Oh, weather conditions. Okay, let's just make sure it's daytime. That's always nice. And then game duration is fine too. All right, let's set up our little AI here. We'll just do everything average. This will give me a little bit of time to not focus on the battle, but focus on the features here. So let's get started with some domination in Call to Arms Gates of Hell Ostfront. Let's go. So I love the background screen, by the way. All the loading screens of Men of War Assault Squad and Call to Arms always remind me of the early Call of Duty games, which were focused on like the Western Front and Eastern Front primarily, and those were a lot of fun. And I cannot recommend this game enough. I really can't, because there's a lot of good stuff here to start, and the modding community that carried over from Men of War Assault Squad 2 to Call to Arms is great. I have a good friend named Gangsta who worked on a ton of missions for Men of War Assault Squad, and then worked on some for Call to Arms, and now the guy went into like 3D modeling and owns his own business. So it's beautiful to see the community that started out doing things as a hobby and fun when they were in school, and now almost 10 years later have all grown up and they're starting their own businesses and doing all sorts of cool stuff that could lead them into being developers for the next big game. I mean, you never know, but you must hope for more great World War II stuff. Additionally, I'm also in this game too. There's some voice acting in the more recent airborne missions, and you may hear me as one of the airborne soldiers that you have to go rescue, as well as a bunch of other creators who are in there as well. All right, let's go ahead and get out Armored Rifle Squad, I guess, and then we'll call out a medic here. So there's going to be more tutorials on the channel, I think, for this game too, as more and more people are getting it. And one thing I want to see, although I'm not hearing, is, oh, there we go, the audio for the troops. But yeah, I want to play this game a lot more and be more helpful with it. And I hope to in the future put out more videos on just like top 10 games that I would recommend that are actually kind of hidden as a more of a, hey, you guys should suggest some other games down below in the comment section, that kind of thing, where like, here's 10 random ones, and then people will be like, hey, how come you left out this game or that game? And it's like, well, I guess we'll make a part 2 and a part 3, because sometimes there's just too many good games and not enough time to actually showcase them all. All right, now we've got our ally here going to this capture point to secure it and lock it down. Nice radio tower there. Very cool. Very Saving Private Ryan. Very much so. And then we've got a capture point here on the German side, which is a neutral capture point. And then that's pretty much it. They've got that point there too. So that's a little weird. Seems like the German capture point is like well within their territory. I guess we are being, you know, offensive, but this is kind of like playing multiplayer, but with the AI taking over. So this game is absolutely PvP, absolutely PvE. There's co-op missions. There's co-op campaigns. There's tons of content. I couldn't recommend it enough. I really can't. And I hope to see another big DLC, although I'm not sure what they'll bring in. Maybe U.S. Marines and the Japanese next. Maybe the Africa Corps and the British. I think more factions in this game would do it well, and to see other locations. And I've got to say, they did 2 for the Americans. They did an Airborne DLC, which is the newest one, I believe. And then there's also the Liberation DLC, which I think this map is from. So there's some that are kind of more focused on D-Day and the whole campaign of that, and then also more on D-Day, but from the perspective of the Airborne, so the 82nd and the 101st. That does carry over through, you know, basically the Band of Brothers campaign, more than likely. You know, there's a lot of missions in there. Actually, we played it before. There's, of course, Market Garden and the Battle of the Bulge, stuff like that. All right, we got some fighting going on. Cool. Let's get our medics up here, too, and see if we can get somebody wounded. So one of the things that you guys always tell me is, oh man, I'd hate to be a soldier on your side. You never heal your guys or whatever. And usually when we're playing like a big defensive mission, I mean, we're more focused on funneling dudes into the defense than focusing on healing every individual soldier. The thing you could do in this game too is if you hit backspace, although it's not something you can do in these skirmishes because it simulates an online game, but in a solo game, or like a mission, you can hit backspace and then lower the speed in which the game is played. So you have a lot more time to react to things. And that is something that's also present in like Broken Arrow and War. Oh boy, we're into the fight now. Sorry, there was a technical issue. But anyway, yeah. So we're going to push this line here and start capturing some of these positions. Looks like the enemy actually has a vehicle up. Half track here. So yeah, I lost my train of thought. My bad, but oh, good, men down. Oh, okay. Now we should be able to heal up allies. It looks like there's a large red circle now around the medic, so I believe this means he'll automatically take action for this. I've seen how it's it does explain it on the Steam store page and some of the update notes. So if you're wondering for a full list of changes, definitely check that out. But we're gonna bring up a mortar here, and hopefully, if somebody becomes wounded, we'll kind of see if the medic will snap into action. So they just need to be within this circle, which is cool. Medics should be risking their lives a little bit to try to save everyone. It's probably one of my favorite roles in Hell Let Loose, too, is to be a medic and have, you know, somebody who is wounded, you know, revive them and kind of save the day and keep them into the play. You're helping everybody else to have a good time in the game when you're playing Hell Let Loose and being a medic. All right, we're bringing up a 81mm mortar, and that'll be here shortly. And then we'll see if we can capture this position here. Oh, right, I forgot. That's how this game mode works. Yes, the game will make these random spawns of positions that you have to capture. So they'll kind of pop up at random, and it's kind of like a King of the Hill mode. Like, you're supposed to be the first one to capture it, and then the objective changes. So you're not locking it down the whole time. So one position will suddenly become important, and everyone will go there, and then it'll be a different one. So yeah, that's quite interesting. I like that. Now, the medic's not healing anyone yet. Looks like there is somebody down there, too. There might be a way to automatically make the medic do this. Here it is. Place auto-retrieve location and place automatic revive. So you can turn that on and off. So there we go. So the medic will automatically revive anybody within that circle or turn that off. I can't believe how long it took them to do that. Did you know in the game as well, maybe this was back in Men of War Assault Squad 2 and I'm misremembering it, but I can recall in either Men of War Assault Squad 2 or in this game, there was a certain point, and I think it was Men of War 2, where the supply trucks and vehicles wouldn't automatically give troops munitions back. Like there was if you put down a supply container, which I believe is in this game as well, and there's also supply trucks, there'll be like a yellow circle around it, and your troops can automatically resupply, or a tank can get more ammunition, something like that. But it used to have to be where you would take each individual soldier and send them to a box and grab all the ammo that you would need to pull out for them. And that kind of made it realistic for if you were doing a mission along the lines of something from Commando, where you were commanding a few different, I don't know, Marines or something like that. You know, there was like some Black Sea DLCs that simulated some really cool squad-based missions that were focused on stealth, and it really was like playing a larger scale Commandos game that was a little more open, you know, rather than forcing you through these really narrow corridors and everything being a puzzle all the time. It was kind of like that, but, you know, with a lot less restrictions, which made it a little easier. But go ahead and get this mortar in place. We're also going to call out a, maybe we can call out a 50 cal, but maybe we'll call up a bazooka team too. Bazooka Joe. Oh, look at that. A sniper with some stealth capabilities too. They put a lot more symbols and things here. Flamer, AT team, that's what we're looking for. Great. So yeah, this is a wonderful example of a developer who's continuously putting in stuff all the time for free, and then also releasing new DLC, even though the game is relatively complete. There is a full campaign for the Germans and the you know, the Soviets, hence the name Ostfront, but they added the Americans, and then they added the American Airborne, and also more German troops that represented the Western Front in France. So, very cool. All right, mortars are certainly being helpful here. All right, we're about to get our first vehicle, I think. That's Stuart. Oh, that almost looks like a Sherman, that model. It definitely is a Stuart, but it almost looks like a Sherman. Chaffee's a wonderful tank. I think we're going to pull one of those up. That is an outstanding vehicle. Get that up here. So the enemy's scoring a lot more points than us. I'm not here to win. I'm just here to see how the hell things function and what they look like. And it's looking good and feeling real smooth. Now, I can't say I've played multiplayer in a while, but I do know that a lot of people enjoy the multiplayer. And I think a lot of the people who play Foxhole love playing the multiplayer in this game as well, because there's a lot of trench building. This game does allow you to dig in, and there's some game modes that are specifically for defense that do allow you to, you know, play as Finland during the Soviet invasion and try to defend that way. And then there's also the ability to build defenses in any sort of battle, like, for example, this one. Like, we could just build a trench and put our troops in it. Oh boy, enemies, what the hell's going on over here? They're pulling up with a... Oh boy, alright, our AI is sucking. We're gonna have to step it up. But yeah, there's so many game modes to this, so many DLCs, so many mods. I love it. Well, it looks like High Command wants us to swing around that way, so we're gonna bring the Chaffee over there. We really don't even need to fight over this position, but I'm trying to see if the medic will do anything. Most of our men just seem to reach 0 health and then get killed. I feel like wounded is more likely in a scenario mission. Alright. Are these guys out of ammo? What the hell? This is the AT team. Did they fire? How the hell are they out of ammo? It shows that they're both out of ammo, but that shouldn't be the case. I guess the team is out of bazooka rounds? Wait, what the hell? Oh, those are not the bazooka team. This is the bazooka team here. Okay. And we'll call these guys back to give them some ammo later on. All right, let's move up with the Chaffee. Let's focus on this for a little bit. Let's get some kills in here. Looks like we are re-securing the flag. Some friendly infantry have gotten into our position there. Enemy vehicle there's got to go. Auf Wiedersehen. Hell, shooting through those hedgerows. This is the Liberation DLC too, so it has a lot of the locations from there. Let's see if we can punch right through there. The game also allows you to go into first-person mode with your infantry and tanks. And oh, there's like a large... Yeah, okay, so yeah, we shouldn't be able to go through there. There's hedges and all sorts of nightmares. Now, it would be interesting in this map if the Americans were able to get the... They kind of made these hedge buster tanks that use some stuff from the front lines of D-Day on the beaches and cut through those hedgerows. There was some engineering tanks to do that. All right, we've been hit by AT, so we're out of the fight for now. And it looks like we finally destroyed that tank there, or that half-track. Probably not a bad idea to also create a line halfway through the middle of the map and maintain that as long as possible. Get some supply out for that mortar there. There it is, American ammo crate. You'll see what I meant in just a little bit. Let's go ahead and get some more infantry up here. So our tank has been damaged. It's still in the fight, though. It is still firing. It's like the Fury situation, like it hit a mine. But the enemy has walked out in front of us with what looks to be a... Oh, actually, look at that. I've never seen that camo before. Nice. All right. So there's a lot that's probably new or not new or that I haven't seen before. Everything feels new, though, because there's likely some things I haven't seen from previous DLCs, and there's probably likely some things that have been just tweaked where they're like, hey, we got bored. So we added, you know, 5 new maps and a bunch of new camo for the Germans and, you know, that kind of thing. Nice. 2 German vehicles wiped out. Bro, will you quit with that flamethrower? You're going to light my tank on fire. All right, the supplies are going out to the little mortar there. And look at that Tiger tank. This is just set dressing from, you know, before the battle started. Trying to make things look cool. The hell did we call out here?
Awaiting orders, sir. Awaiting orders, sir. Yes, sir. No problem, sir.
Let's go ahead and get this team out. There we go.
I'm ready.
Okay, American Recon Team. Snipers maybe in this? I'm actually not even sure what I clicked on here. There's a lot more options than ever before. Good to see. Oh, Armored Recon Team. Oh, they get to come in a little vehicle, maybe. Also, it would be great if this worked a little bit more like Broken Arrow, which is coming out soon, too. I like when games let you pick the soldiers that you're sending into battle, but how to transport them. So, you know, either on foot or with the escort of a half-track. This game does do that a little bit, too. There are certain units I think you can call out that do come within a vehicle. Uh-oh. That is a Luke's there, I think. Nope, Panzer 1. That shouldn't be too big of a deal for us. Oof. They're only loading HE. There we go. We're very limited on our supplies here. Mortars firing off again. I don't know if the medic's actually healed anybody. It's a great thing to see, though. I think the medic will be way more effective in a defensive mission where the enemy's constantly pushing you. There is, of course, the frontline mode and, like, the last stand mode, which last stand mode lets you, you know, defend like D-Day and where you're always constantly on the defensive, or like Finland. But then the frontline mode does allow a player to play as the offensive team and the other is the defender. Alright, looks like they want us to capture over here now. I always feel like everything's slightly closer to the Germans. Let's get a very good infantry team up here. We're going to call out the best of the best, which we have. And they want us to capture the position right here by that manor. Very nice. So there must be, you know, like 10 pre-planned locations on each map, and then they just pop up randomly or sometimes not at all. Such a great game mode. I really need to play this more. Some of my best friendships have been all formulated around these games, and then they don't have as much time to play anymore. But, you know, it's okay. Did this mortar come out with that unit? Section leader. Oh, yeah, it does. 60mm M2 late. Wow, okay. So you get a 60mm mortar and a group of Rangers. Very cool. Friendlies are attempting to capture that position. I feel like our friendly is a little lazy. But we'll capture this position here. First, we're going to put some rifles on that position, and then we'll capture it. Let's go with the armored rifle. Also, based on our previous decision of having the assault group, we may be getting different vehicles based on that, or units based on that. So everything that we've got is more than likely because we chose the offensive doctrine. So there's a little bit of like company heroes in here too, which is wonderful. Some of the cool things that work for company heroes are present. Let's get those guys off that box too. Ammo's carried in by hand sometimes, so you can get those riflemen to get on the line as well. All right, let's get our Rangers over the top here. Can they jump right over this? I feel like they should be able to jump over that fence, but they can clearly move around. And put a rifleman there. I also believe that veterancy is a big deal in this game. I think veterancy increases the likelihood that a soldier will throw a grenade and how far and how effective it is. And also their capture value. So if the Germans had a bunch of low-level, like a penal battalion in here or something, like a bunch of conscript troops, and we had like elite riflemen in there, I think our troops are going to capture at a higher rate. Germans got something in here. There's an artillery gun there. But what did they have in there? There must have been like a mortar in there or something that they had. Can't even see. There's so much junk around there. Okay, well, the good news is we're capturing our flag, and the bad news is our ally has yet again lost another flag. My guy, you need to step up, bud. That mortar needs to hit that damn half-track. I mean, Kubelwagen. I feel like the mortar should be able to hit that. And we should call up more supply. We will need that for everybody. Kubel's getting all nasty. I believe we also score points by destroying enemy vehicles. So every time, or infantry, if we kill something, it's good. Don't always have to capture the positions, but capturing is worth more. Oh, now we got a half-track full of troops. I gotta learn what these all call out. It would be nice to see like a picture of a half-track here. It may list that these come with that. But it's a little hard to see without the pictures. I'll have to play this more to just know it by muscle memory. And that's another thing you could say about like War Game and Broken Arrow and Warno 2, is that those games intimidate a lot of people, but you don't need to be an expert in those wars or modern technology to know. They do a pretty good job of it, showing you pictures and giving you all the information you need on screen. You just learn as you go. No biggie. Alright, good position for the half-track, but I'm sure it'll be hit any second. And we could try to make a big push for the enemy position there. Enemies smoking some of these positions too. Ooh, white phosphorus, so that's from us. And there goes the destruction. Not surprised. Luke's there. Panzer II. So we could have one of our Rangers sneak up there with a bazooka. Wow, what we got in the war. That's nice. Let's bring that medic over. Man, everything's firing everywhere. Looks like our AI friendly lost a half-track there, maybe? Or did I call that in? I don't know. I gotta play this a lot more. It's so good. It's so fun to play and so fun for people to watch. Well, man down there. Alright, so the medic, if he were within that circle, would be able to heal him. But unfortunately, when you get people wounded like that, he's a little too far out in the open for us to help. But the medic does have some smokes, so we could try to smoke that position. And let's bring up a 76 Sherman finally. Oh, there's infantry in there. Let's see if the medic will do his job. I just want to see the thing that I've been waiting years for. Is if man is nearby, heal man. And there he goes. My God. Ladies and gentlemen, game of the year. Forget about Death Stranding, The Altars, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Game of the year. Right there. Finally they could do it. I can't tell you how happy I am to see that. No more having to babysit as much, at least. I'm glad that a medic doesn't run all the way. Let's get some ground beef here real quick. I'm glad that a medic doesn't like run all the way across the battlefield to heal somebody up and expose himself to too much fire, but he will do his job within reason and also protect himself, so that's good. All right. I wouldn't be surprised in this game if somebody made oh damn, what the hell is the name of that movie with the medic who he didn't want to be a combatant, but he did help and heal people? The hell was the name of that movie? What was the name of that guy? Regardless, I would not be surprised if somebody made a mod like that where you don't get to shoot and you just have to sneak through the battlefield and rescue dudes. Oh, well, there goes our medic. That's also the other situation, too. I have to explain that a million times, where it's like every time I try to conserve medics' lives, they all just end up dead. Every time. Okay, there's also supply here, too, so that's nice that if we push to take a position, we can be immediately resupplied. So there's even more of a reason to take a position. Oh, got Krauts in the open. And I think what we should try to do is get everybody ammoed up here and make a push to the German territory. The main position. Now, what do they have there? They've been calling out a lot of light vehicles. I don't think we're going to see like a Panther or anything soon. Wow, we have a T-26E4 here. Wow. 155mm howitzer. Big artillery. Again, a lot of our... This is like the specials tab, and a lot of that is based on what doctrine you choose earlier in the game. Oh, there's a Panzer IV finally. I just see it now. And our tank is knocked out. So if we want to win, we got to get to 1,200 points, or you know, whoever has the most points at the end of the round. I'm going to try to rush them here. And do we have Rangers with AT? We do. There's a vehicle over there somewhere. Oh, enemy tank, I hear. So again, really important to capture these positions for supply, especially for infantry. This really helps for the micromanaging now. It really does. I feel like it's a 2v1 here. Our allies not really doing much to assist us at all. This is another thing that happens often in this game too, is where you have to almost like put your ally on veterancy, and then they're almost too good. You want there to be some balance, and I still feel like the enemy against you is too skilled, no matter their ranking, and then your allies just kind of throwing stuff into the battle, and then they get flanked, and then you have to deal with two forces. So you almost have to keep back all the time and turtle just to pick off vehicles and then try to find an opening. And then you almost win by killing more enemy vehicles than you do capturing territory. Panzer IV out there too somewhere. I think we found that. That's on the road up there. We have to angle our armor a little bit, which is a factor in this game too. It does kind of take into account angling. Germans with their machine guns. That's a good position for us to be, though. Near limitless supplies, and there's a bunch of trenches. There's that Panzer. Oh, it's a Panzer III. And we may get this tank repaired too. So tanks can get knocked out. You can repair those. That works pretty nice. Let's call up a T-26. King of the battlefield here. Oh yeah, the Super Pershing on the way. More ground beef too. Kind of a nightmare in this battle because there's not really a lot of great places to shoot except for the roads or an open field, and that's all narrow. You know, like there's not a lot of space here. This will have to be escorted. Wow, Panzer One just rolling up on the Sherman. Okay. Oh, is our ally actually doing something over there? Look at this. Bro's capping. Oh, no. He's, yeah, greatly outnumbered. Wow, by 8. Look at that. By 9. Jeez. 4 or 5. Okay. Well, the enemy's in front of an M20 just throwing a bunch of troops out. That's hilarious. How are we not able to stop this Tiger 7? We're dealing with a Tiger 7. Not a Tiger 2. This thing's unstoppable. Hell, this is a Panzer 1, bro. What the hell's happening? Are you kidding me? What is going on here? Okay, we've only taken a few losses over here. Supply is finally out, but those mortars more than likely killed a ton of dudes. And we're not even that far behind now, only like 172 points, which sounds like a lot, but... Dude, how come this tank is not dying, man? He's not just firing HE, is he? He's firing APCBC. It's still not dead. There are now 2 American tanks firing at a Panzer 1. What is going on? What the hell? My guy. Emergency ultra patch coming in. Finally, after all that time, we took it out. 26 rounds into that thing. You've got to be kidding me. That is crazy. All right, let's get a vehicle over here to the radar site. Is this a friendly vehicle? Oh, the Chaffee's back up. Let's get that repaired. Also, we can call out individual soldiers, too, for this, like a tank crew. We can get them some more troops there. Okay, looks like there are 2 positions to capture on the right. Maybe we can get into the war now. We'll capture the radar, and then we'll assist in that barn on the far right side. But also, it's very important to continue to distract the enemy elsewhere. You know, like, we should be focusing a little bit more on this fight and trying to knock out these little armored cars, but honestly, the enemy had to invest a Panzer IV here. Or 3. And also a half-track and that other vehicle, so they're all focused over here. I think I'm going to try to bring our tank there to see if we can shoot around. They've also called out a Lee gun there. 15 centimeter. Thing's a nightmare with heat rounds. And let's actually put some of the tank crew in the capture zone and get these 2 inside the Chaffee. How many man crew is that thing? Great that you click on the vehicles too and see so many different pieces of information. Like the light tank M24 says it has a crew of 6 and then it can carry 10 men. So that, I think that means 6 inside the vehicle and then 4 more on the back of it. So you can carry some troops into battle, which is nice. Unfortunately, you can't like load up light equipment onto it though. Like you can't throw a mortar onto the back and then have the crew carry that with them. Get another tank crew out here and repair that vehicle. Oh, 50 seconds. We're going to try to get a rifleman up here and then have him repair. Okay, so we got our Chaffee here. Capturing the radar, no problem. We'll capture the barn too. Of course, the late war Germans may have the Panzerfaust and a bunch of other stuff to wreak havoc. And try to bring this tank over here to stop them. Oh, come on, boys, get in there. Capture that. So yeah, even vehicles are worth a capture point too. Used to not be that way in like Men of War Assault Squad. Tanks were just kind of support here. At least they can do something. And all of our tanks that get knocked out that are in our territory can be easily repaired when the fight shifts to another area. So it's not always a bad thing to try to stop the enemy, get their attention somewhere else, and then come back and repair. Although that does take time. Alright, so we're capturing 2 positions. That's nice. We're going to bring up a tank crew here. And a... Oh, I see there in brackets it says mounted. And then it shows there that's the M3A1 half-track. I'd like to see pictures of that, though. I feel like I'd accidentally click on the wrong one a few times. Capturing 2 zones there. There also is the center capture. And our Super Pershing's in a nice spot for that. Looks pretty good, man. Panzer III Os-N. That thing is cool. It's like a little Lee gun inside there. It's more like a howitzer that's firing upwards. Ooh, do I hear a tiger? Oh, it's this transmission here. Yeah. Then I heard that whining whir of the tiger. Okay, well, the good news is another Chaffee's up for us. Let's see if there's more men that can go inside that tank, maybe. I'm going to try to hit that off's N, and let's also go to the middle and capture there. Unfortunately, that vehicle's knocked out. Here, this one's ready. Ooh. Nice shot from the Os-N. Three centimeter. That's gonna be gone. Don't know why he's shooting HE. Is this only mounted with HE? Whoa. The hell, can the Chaffee only fire? Let's see. No, it has both types of ammo. Anyway, let's break through to the middle now. It's been a messy battle. This is cool. I'm like super rusty as hell, doing different things and experimenting around. Another great thing in this game is if you're a pro and just winning all the time, that's kind of on you if you're getting bored. You got to mix it up and do different things. And it's like that in like Warno and Wargame and all these other games where it's like, you know, you want to kind of test your skills and know that sometimes militaries aren't always getting the best of the best and have to kind of make do with what the situation provides. Okay, let's get a medic up again. I'm going to give the medic another chance to prove himself. Look at these guys in these windows. So another thing we usually didn't do too much because previous versions of this game and also Call to Arms, Men of War Assault Squad didn't really give you an opportunity to put men inside of windows as they should. Well, another man down there. Now let's go ahead and smoke if we can. Oof. And again, the enemies conveniently spawn something kind of on their side where they already put troops. Like we captured that area, nothing happened, and then conveniently the Germans are getting it again. There's a lot of how convenient for the enemy situations. Like the capture points in Berlin, and the capture points in Berlin again, and the capture points in Berlin one more time. It's like, oh, we're scoring so many points. How's this? Ah. It's like, you keep doing that, Germany. Stop it. All right, we were leading there for a brief second till we lost the middle, but I think we'll get lucky with another spawn point at some point. What the hell is this? Did the AI actually capture an enemy tank and repair it? That is the first time I've ever seen that. No way. Oh, we need like a... I'm gonna call on this howitzer here, and I'm gonna like just start hammering the center of town. Look at all these lightly defended artillery pieces. Oh, and it comes with a little transport. Look at that. So yeah, there's the couple of tank destroyers with no top on them at all. Looks like the church has been a capture point a few times. I always feel like all players go towards the middle, but the real value is not attacking the center. I think the enemy's going to capture that position there. Yeah, you as the player just simply can't be asked to do what the AI should be doing, which is capturing all those other positions too. But I'm really proud of the AI for capturing a enemy vehicle. Okay, let's get our artillery up here. And where was that medic there? Okay. Bring him nearby. Alright, so we probably will get something from the right flank. Now, I think it'll conveniently go over here. So I'm going to try to push up on the right. And let's get our artillery gun set up. So let's drop the trailer here. And swing the gun around. And of course we get points for destroying these vehicles too, so that'll be nice. I think it'll be faster if we pick up the legs of that thing and then flip it. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Good to have the tank crew nearby just in case any of ours get hit. And they're still repairing the tank over here too, so yeah, nice. Our two tanks are hitting flanks beautifully here. Alright, 155mm ready to go. Light vehicle pushing through. That should hit it. The T-26 should hit it. Come on, man, don't miss. Wow, right through the wall. Bouncing right off the wall. That's insane for a round like that. Did artillery piece fire? It did not. There's a Wesp there sitting next to the church. See if our boys can throw. No, we don't have any AT grenades. We've now tried to hit that vehicle for the third time. Still not destroyed. Somehow still functioning. Now getting away. I was about to say it'll likely hit the fence again. That is insane. How much deflection some of those walls can provide. I'm gonna put in more AT teams here. And we called out a squad there. They seem to have made it. And other men did not. Alright, medic can come over here. Hard to babysit everything everywhere. You have to get into the groove of that. And there's a small capture point there, so we need to capture that. Germans, of course, already on it, ready and waiting. Oh, our artillery piece is firing. Okay, I was looking to see if it was reloading, but didn't seem to indicate that. I was right, though, that it would be on the right side that they would try to capture. Oh, BS. We were about to capture that. Let's see if we can punch through. I think we should be ahead at this point, but our AI compatriot has not taken like 2 of the flags or so. And I've been goofing around, so who cares? You always want to win, but not the purpose today. Amazing! An artillery piece firing at the wall and tracking our vehicle, but our T-26s and our Chaffies and our Shermans can't destroy Panzer Is and can't destroy Wesps by firing into the top of the cabin crew compartment with a 3mm round. Insanity. Okay, we're gonna throw some grenades on that. And now we have a German gun. Now, one thing we can do is we can go in here to the gun and we can actually throw all these things on the ground, and that will stop most players from firing those weapons. They'll put a crew on there and then they won't know that the ammo is dumped out. So that's a good way to disable that for both the AI and a player. But remember, if there's an ammo crate sitting next to that, it'll just auto-replenish. What I'm trying to go here to do now is punch through to the back of the enemy defenses and see if we can end this once and for all by capturing their base. I think this also shows captures too. The enemy's up to 7, but they've been losing a ton of vehicles for us to be this close. I think simply the Germans have just been calling out more stuff. Chaffee's supposed to be fast here. Another great idea to get behind the enemy to deal with stuff like that. They've got unattended, you know, flak guns and such that we can flank from behind. They've got full squads here running in the open. High Command's asking us to take a position. I don't think this will make the difference, but we can still try to get there. And maybe more light vehicles are just better, since the Panzer I, of course, has the armor of 8 Tiger IIs bolted together. Still cool, though. I'm happy with this update, and it's great to see all this different equipment and more of these factions. And then, of course, the differences between the doctrines, where you can play a campaign and not see all the units in a campaign. Like, there might be a few of the campaigns out there where maybe a unit appears once or twice, but what they really put it in for was like fun with multiplayer, and that's pretty cool. Great game, good, healthy modding community, and always great feedback on what should be tweaked. And every one of these videos also serve that purpose too. Good opportunity for feedback, you know? Trying to make things better. I think this will get us 100 points, but we'll still be short 29 unless the enemy happens to drive out in front of us with a flak gun. Something lightly armored. We must have destroyed that Panzer IV as well. And somehow our crew knocked out. Must have been a Panzerfaust or something. Can't believe we couldn't see it. Yep, there it is, Panzer Shrek. Right there by that tree. Cool, just like in Hell Let Loose, it happens all the time. Man, let's get some troops in there. I'm going to send whatever we can. Luckily, these troops are mounted up so they can get over there quick. And that Steward is on the way too. Another great reason for light units. Ooh, that's that Panzer Shrek right there. Get that bastard. Oh, damn it. Okay, that's a good spot for that steward, though. They'll have to cross that position.
Always ready.
Vehicles even have fuel management. I forgot all about that. How nice. Well, let's get our boys in there and see if we can pull off a win. Snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, that kind of thing.
Ready to go, sir. What are your orders? Ready, sir.
I believe there might still be drivers in these vehicles. Yep.
That's a cannon. Always ready.
All right, boys, just take up a position wherever. And keep that Chaffee, the steward there to protect. This might be the last capture point. Enemies still bringing vehicles out in the open. Something's out there. Is that another Panzer I? Full retreat. We've lost the city if that's a Panzer I. Well, let's put our troops in here for capture. Greater than 10 on the capture. Yep, and all coming down to troop veterancy or numbers of. I think it's the same with vehicles. So will we get this? I hope so. Low recon in the back there, detecting an enemy machine gun. They've called up to counter that infantry. We receive additional reinforcements because of that. Well, we got like 48 seconds left. I thought that would be the victory. I thought we were getting like 100 points per capture there. Which would make sense because the enemy's at 800 with 7 captures. So you'd think 700 plus... 700 plus whatever they got for the, you know, kills. I'm trying to just go for a kill here. Enemy vehicle on the backside. Panzerfaust right in front of us. Shrek, actually. Can't even kill a Panzer I. Oh, not bad, though. Excellent. All right, a good example of how new things are working in Call to Arms, Gates of Hell, Ostfront. A good battle, honestly, but the AI is still lacking a little bit on their competency, I think, for the friendlies. The enemy is a little too aggressive on the normal side and you know, too dumb on our side, but regardless, I don't care. This game is packed with tons of great stuff and lots of good extras, too. Great single-player campaigns, great DLC single-player campaigns, great co-op stuff, too, and I think also the campaign might be playable via multiplayer. I can't quite recall, but it might be. And I know it's been that way before for like Men of War Assault Squad. So anyway, leave a like to see more Call to Arms, Gates of Hell, Ostfront on the channel. But the most important thing to take away from this is the medic update is out. And there's tons of what seems to be new stuff from the last time we took a look at it. And I can't wait to see what DLC is next. I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.